name is Pastor Caleen Howard. I am the wife of Bishop Sean Howard, and together we pastor Life Changers Church. So I'm a proud wife, a proud mother of three. I am a regional music director for the Church of God in Eastern Canada, and most of all, I am a follower of Jesus Christ.
Wow. How do you juggle all those responsibilities?
Wow, the balancing act. To be honest, I really don't have a formula. I believe that I prioritize, based on responsibilities. I put my responsibilities in order, and from there, it's really the grace of God that keeps me balanced. So I'm still trying to work out the balancing act. I'm not perfect at it, but I prioritize. So my family comes first. Family is my first ministry. Home is the first ministry. And so making sure that my marriage and my household, my children are taken care of. They're first. After that, the other responsibilities, that come along with that, and pastoring a church and all of that, I just really depend on the Lord and a great schedule, tight schedule, people holding me accountable to the things that I need to do, and just taking each and every day, every morning, just knowing what I have to do and really try to execute the best way that I can.
I see. So would you have advice for mothers and wives in ministry?
Wow, mothers and wives in ministry. What I would say is, if God calls us to ministry and places a call of ministry to people on our lives, I believe then He equips us for that call. And so there's a saying that says He doesn't give you more than you can bear. If He calls you to it, I believe He equips us for it. And so God, knowing that you're going to be a wife and a mother, but also have a call for ministry, I believe that that's where the dependency on Him is necessary, because He knows that He's fashioned us for this. And so again, just understanding priority. Making sure that we know that our home is our first priority, and then from there being able to itemize the responsibilities in the way possible. The main advice that I would give too is that if you can't do something, it's okay. Mothers try to do everything and be all things to everyone, and kind of sacrifice ourselves in the process. But whatever we're not able to do, whether it's because of time or whether it's because of energy, health, whatever the case is, it's okay to say no sometimes. I'm still learning it, because I always say yes, I never say no. Okay. Nothing is a problem, but it's being able to say, what, if I'm not well or if I'm not able, and if I don't, prioritize and make sure that I take care of myself as well, then I won't be any good to anybody else, whether it's my family or the ministry and so on. So I would say that, be able to, balance and know when it's okay to say no, or if you're not able to do something, it's okay,
I hear you. I also hear that you're an author.
I am. I co-authored a book with my husband, 7 Love Keys to a Successful Marriage, Principles for a Lasting Relationship. And together we've been married for, this year will be 18 years. We've been together as a couple for about 22 years. And so during our journey, and also being able to minister to other couples, the Lord really placed in our heart to prepare and to present and to write a book that would empower couples to stay together and to really to promote marriage in a positive way, the way God instituted it to be. And so we wrote together this book for couples, whether they're already married for years or if they're engaged or just dating and so on, so that they can actually build some principles for success for their relationship. And so together we did that, and I anticipate writing more books in the future. That's the first of many, I believe, to come, and we just want to inspire people in all the modes possible.
Great. As you touched on marriage, what do you think the state of marriage is right now?
I think the state of marriage is I think it is still powerful in this world today. I think it is still successful. I think people still want to be married. Although people have loved and failed in certain areas, or what they had hoped for, some of the relationships did not kind of measure out the way that they had planned. But I still feel that people's desires are to be married. I believe God designed us to want to cohabitate and want to be in one with another person. And so I still, although there's so many negative things that have been plaguing our world as marriage is concerned, divorce rates are high. People now are saying it doesn't make sense to be married, so a lot of people now are not even trying to go into that commitment, that marriage union. I still firmly believe that not only is it God's will, but that people's hearts and desires want to be in a monogamous relationship with someone and to spend their lives with that individual person that they love and build a family and a unit. I believe that it's crucially important that the family structure, marriage is as part of the foundation of the family structure. And so if that is destroyed, then families are thereby affected. And so personally, I will continue to, preach and encourage that message of marriage, that it is God's way and it is God's desire and it's His design. And I know like others in the Christian community and other faiths that believe in the institution of marriage and the sanctity of marriage, that we will continue to send that message. And also for couples who are married and have gone through the highs and the lows, that they would also be testimonies to people, that may have doubts and fears regarding marriage, to really promote and to really show the world that yes, God's way does work and God's way is still honorable, and that we can promote the institution of marriage, the first institution in the Bible.
Okay. It seems like you're very passionate about that, which is a good thing. Do you have any other projects you're working on right now?
Yes, currently I am getting ready to release my very first praise and worship CD. It was recorded on March 5th, 2016, a live recording, praise and worship, and so we're just in the process of releasing it this year, March 4th, 2017. It's a live praise and worship CD, and I'm excited about it because it's coming from the bottom of my heart, like the depths of my heart. All of the original songs on that CD I wrote, and with wonderful people that helped me to bring this vision to life. And so it's going to be a nice ministry tool to empower people in my deepest passion, which is praise and worship.
Do you want to shout out some people on the project?
Sure. I want to shout out Purpose. Purpose is like my heartbeat. They are the best, to me, the best group of singers and worship leaders that this city has to offer. And so people like Andrew Blackwood, who's my vocal director, Latasha Blackwood, Simone Minot, Tanya Stevenson, Letitia Bryan, Dalia Riley, and I had a few friends come in to help as well who are not a part of Purpose, but Nordia Blackwood, Nicholas Tallman, they all came in vocally to help. We have also the musicians, you can't do it without the musicians, and Kirk Grange, Rohan Bailey, Damian Riley, Marcus Walker, they all played for the live recording, and said there's so many others. Cordell Hay is doing the mixing and mastering of the final product, and a number of other folks that have gotten involved in it, and I hope I didn't miss anybody, but yeah, a number of different people that have come together to really bring this project to life. And I'm so appreciative because originally I was just like, praise and worship is my heart, so this is my first time going down this recording journey, and to me, in my ignorance, I'm just like, well, just plug something in and we're good, not realizing all that it would require. But it's been a great learning experience for me, all that goes into really bringing the end product to life, and I've just been blessed by the journey, and also I can't forget my husband, who is just the greatest supporter that I could ever have in this, pushing and encouraging me to overcome my fears and anxieties and just actually do what God placed in my heart to do. So big shout out to every single one that believes in it.
It's also going to be a DVD as well, right?
Yes, yes. It was also recorded live DVD. The DVD is also being worked on as well. So the CD will be released March 4th, and we're hoping that the DVD will come out at that time as well, or shortly thereafter. But yeah, so CD and DVD recording is what we did.
Why did you decide on having both?
Because the experience for me is more mainly what I believe I wanted people to be ministered by, the entire experience. I don't, I mean, there's a difference between singers and worship leaders in a sense for me, because there's so many wonderful singers, gifted singers, that have the music ability or the vocal ability that really could just, make you speechless and so on. I don't necessarily consider myself as part of that particular pool of people who do music ministry. For me, it's my love for music, my passion for worship, that's combined. And so my main objective for doing the live recording in the first place was just to capture a worship experience, capture that experience that for people, I believe worship is a powerful weapon in the arsenal of a believer, that when you honor God with everything that is in you in that form of in worship and praise and adoration, that it breaks strongholds, that it helps us to refocus our mind on Him. And so my desire and my vision and the purpose for doing it was to give believers that experience captured in audio and visual form, so that they can be ministered to on a regular basis. They can keep it and they can actually see the experience, but also that they can be a part of it, and it be ongoing for as long as they want to listen to it.
You said earlier that you wrote all the songs.
I did.
On the CD. What kind of songwriting process do you employ?
Wow, good question. Because I think it came together just because I prepare sermons as well. I guess everyone has different, modes and practices for how they approach writing material. But for me, it is always, the songs that were written are based on what I feel deep inside with regards to whatever it is and whatever I might be going through or whatever situation I might be facing, and how I want to apply God to that. So for example, one of my favorite songs that I wrote was "The Battle Is the Lord's." And I know for personally, all that I've gone through in life, I've discovered through every aspect and every circumstance that the battle truly is the Lord's. When I start to take things in my own hand, I kind of mess it up sometimes, and I don't get the outcome that I hope that I would have. But when I really lay it in the Lord's hands and commit all circumstances to Him, I realize that He works it out for my good. And so the battle is the Lord's. So where I would want to fight, the battle is the Lord's. And in that, everything that came to me lyrically, as a result of personal testimony. And so if there's an actual process that I go through, it's really just meditating on the Word, meditating on who God is, what He's done for me and through me, and what I've seen Him do for other people, and actually put pen to paper based on those experiences. One of the opening songs on the CD is "We've Come to Worship," and again, that is just my belief and my stance as it relates to coming together corporately for services, that we've come to worship. And so, it's a declaration, we've come to worship Christ the Lord. That's the reason why we came, when we come in a worship environment. And so really the songs are really just my heart to who God is to me, and just putting lyrics to it, I hope that answers the question, because I feel like it should be some, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not that. It's just whatever comes out. If I don't really, it's whatever pours out of my heart, The first song that I ever wrote, I wrote it years ago, and we never recorded it. We started working on it a little bit, but we kind of put it, on the shelf, was "I Am Free," and it's a song relating to salvation, that Jesus saved me, He redeemed my life, Jesus saved me, I am free. And that is, the essence of the song. Because of salvation, I'm free, and I might go through situations, but it doesn't regardless of what the situation is, I am still free. And so, again, it's really testimony and who God is to me, and, how I've seen Him move in the lives of people, and just really my experience as a believer.
Okay. You know, talking about passion and talking about your heart and talking about these different things, what would you say is the soul of the matter?
Well, the soul of the matter is the love of Christ, the love of God. Really, in all things, I think everything that comes out of everything that you see, whether it's with me or other individuals who are believers that profess Christ, it's the love of God that allows us to do what we do. My passion is the fact that I am a believer, that I'm saved, that I don't deserve the grace and the mercy of God, just as who I am as as an individual. But because He loved me, because He loves us, that is the foundation and the basis for everything that I do as a believer, as a worship leader, as a pastor. In everything that I do, even if all of the things, the books that we write, and the songs that we sing, and the projects that we embark upon, is coming from the love of Christ. Just because my life has been redeemed, and I believe that the God redeems mankind. The Bible says that God loved the world, so loved the world that He gave. That He gave His only Son, so that whosoever would believe in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. And it's not exclusive. It's for everyone. Anyone that would accept Him will receive the love and will experience a changed life because of Him. And so I think the soul of the matter is just that Jesus saves. He saves, He delivers, He heals, He sets free. And I think more people worry about the what ifs more than accepting the fact that Christ just loves us, and allow everything that happens from that perspective, allow that to be the basis by which we live, so that we can experience God and kind of take our hands off of some of the things that are not working out in the way that we want, and allow God's love and His path for our lives to be fulfilled, and so that we can really experience the abundant life that Christ came to give us. So I would say that that's the soul of the matter, that Jesus saves. He loves us, and if we can embrace that and start living from that foundation, we will see God and live life in a whole different way.
This is Nicely. You're watching Soulmatic Mag. Pastor Caleen, thank you.
Thank you.